What's this like, Steve? On personal level, what's this like?
Just happy. Like, they're great families. These kids have been through a lot of obstacles, and they stayed the course. And to have two guys go in the top 5, and is just awesome. Awesome for our university. I said for the next 10 years they'll be in the starting lineup from Rutgers University. And see kids have their dreams come true at 18 years old. The sweat that they put in. I saw that. I was at the 6 a.m. workouts with Ace when he was a sophomore. I was at the Dylan workouts when he was a junior that no one else was there. So I saw what they did to get here. So, most proud to keep Coach Shiano, take a line from him, you keep chopping, and work always shows up, and it showed up here today.
There's a lot of discussion about where Ace could possibly land. What did you think about the fit in Utah and just how that ended?
Yeah, I don't know why that became like a big, the kids was awesome all season long, so I guess it was kind of a vanilla draft, so to make some, but he didn't slip very far, I will tell you. And Utah has great basketball people, and all the basketball people love these two kids. I mean, I've talked to all of them. They were all credentialed for multiple games, multiple workouts, multiple practices. Basketball people always loved Ace Bailey, so they'll see more of him too now. And Utah's getting an exciting player with, I think, the most upside in the whole draft.
Obviously, the local teams brought a lot of guys in. Did the Jazz bring a lot of?
Oh yeah, everybody brought a lot of guys in, and saw these guys too. You guys don't understand. They saw them as juniors in high school. I was at a ton of events. Seniors, at the Jordan game, they were there for a week. At the McDonald's game, I mean, as highly evaluated as you can evaluate two players. And when you have two of them together too, they're there to see both guys. So we had twice the traffic, and every executive Utah, every executive from San Antonio. I mean, multiple calls, multiple visits. Yeah.
Two Rutgers basketball players selected in the top 5. How does that help elevate the brand of Rutgers basketball, and how does it help you on the recruiting trail?
Well, I mean, it already has. I mean, we got a really good recruiting class this year. So, I'm excited about, the guys that we brought in. And trust me, it helps when you say these two kids' names. It opens doors. And, we're at a very different time in college athletics. So, anything helps. And to have these guys make Rutgers their home, they could have went anywhere, and they picked us. Is going to be awesome. And like I said, for the next 10, 15, however long they're blessed to play, they come back in the summertime, they work out. Ace worked out the other day, Dylan works out all the time. Just to have these guys around, our players be a great thing. And for Rutgers University, this whole year has been like the exposure, even with this draft, the exposure's been unbelievable, and that's never happened before for us. And hopefully now we can talk guys into if you want to be a lottery pick, you can come to Rutgers. It's happened to two guys.
Obviously, two really high regarded minds at the top of the organization, Danny Ainge in Utah, now Greg Popovich in San Antonio. What can those two guys learn from some guys with tons of experience in coaching and executive?
Yeah, I mean, two real classy organizations too. You can't really thorough and how they did their draft process. Danny Ainge, one of the greats, and actually Pop's an all-time great. So, I think you can learn a lot from those guys. They've won a lot, and our guys are very coachable. I would tell Coach, that was the big thing. There was never a question about the character or the coach, the character, or really their basketball. It was how coachable are they, and those were most of the questions I asked. And they're very coachable kids, and I think Danny Ainge will love that. Pop will love that, and those guys will embrace learning from.
Steve, I thought it was. Go ahead. You have a follow-up?
To kind of go off that, the head coaches on those teams, relatively young in the NBA level. I mean, how important is it for those two to kind of grow with their coaches and with their organizations?
Yeah, I mean, I think they will. Obviously, when you commit a 2-pick and a 5-pick, you're gonna grow, and those coaches have done a really good job. They've been around those organizations, and I think they'll enjoy, really enjoy coaching these kids too, and they'll enjoy. I watched a lot of growth in both of them all year long. They got better in a lot of areas, and we do play in a challenging league, and we play teams once, and they got guarded differently in every game, and they learn from that, and I think they'll continue to grow with those kind of executives for
I
sure.
want to say, first of all, those are tremendous shoes.
Tremendous.
They look really
They're tremendous.
Those are really nice. They're out of my league, but I'd love to wear a pair.
They're yours afterwards. The 13s, you are?
No, not even close. But anyway, Ace yesterday, I thought it was interesting. He wore the Rutgers hoodie he was like, I may be the only player to rep his college at the media event. You think you'll see a lot of these guys over the years? Will you have a spot reserved for them courtside? Will you have them in the locker room? What do you foresee for them coming back?
I mean, the great part of them, they've been part of the family for a long time. They're already back, I think we do a really good job of, first of all, I want them back, but I think the people around our program, from Rich, our trainer, to Dave Van Dyke in the strength and conditioning, they come back to see those guys. Ron's back all the time.
Right.
Caleb's coming back in a couple weeks, which I love. Andre Hyatt's back right now. He just came back. He's going to go play in France, and he's working out all summer with us. So, these guys are part of our family too, and they know they'll get taken care of when they come. So, I'm looking forward to, seeing them play a lot as much as I can this year, but I'm also looking forward to them coming back and sharing their lessons and stories with our, with our younger guys.
They're going to make more money than any Rutgers alum ever, assuming they get that big second contract. Do you hope that when they do come back years down the line, they'll also be able to?
There's some Rutgers people making a lot of money, so there's some really, really good guys out there. They will be great. They'll give back to their community, and hope they sign many, many contracts. But they're very generous people and good people, and that's never anything I think about. So Rutgers though really benefited from these two guys being here, and appreciate them.
There's a lot of attention on them when they were in high school.
Look at Ace Bailey.
There was a lot of attention.
Oh look, Mike! Look at that.